So here I'm with Sascha Bachmann, also known as Hand or Tape Loop or Hand Tape Loop. There are so many names, but last year we were talking about his use of the AE Modular and how he got into electronic music and all that. And this year we will look at his visual art and the visual installation. And I just hand over to you, Sascha. Tell me a little bit about what this is and how you came up with that idea and where is it going?
Whew, that's very complex because but basically it's just I visualize sound, and that's exactly what you can see. And all these pictures, I don't know if Carsten can have a schwenk over this room.
Yeah, just do a little turn around and then you see all those.
There are different motifs, and all those different motifs have different techniques, how they were created from sound.
Okay.
So basically, all the synthesizer nerds will know you can just plug your synth into an oscilloscope and you see something there. And that's really the basic of my process, how all these pictures were created. And I think we will not get too deep into how I developed them, but basically you need a synthesizer, you need an oscilloscope, you need some cables, and then you can have a lot of fun with this kind of art, I don't know.
And tell me a little bit about your vernissage and the installation, how that happened. Was it very successful? Were there many people? Then you had a finissage as well.
Yes.
Just tell me a little bit about that.
Oh, what to tell about this? So in this, I had an exhibition for 3 months in a very big gallery room. And we had, of course, as Carsten mentioned, a vernissage and a finissage. And we had all these pictures there. We have an oscilloscope installation so that people can see how sound reacts on oscilloscope in live. And they also can hear the sound. And in the afternoon there was a party and we were playing live. There was also another guest artist called Evan Henry. His artist name is Cinema RV. He's also here at the Superbooth and presented some video oscillators. And we were exhibit together, and that was really fun. And that's it for now.
So this is it's not a totally new thing for you to go visual and visual art, but because you also had the tape loop workshops in the last few years, you're also a drum teacher, and I think you also perform sometimes, do you? So where's this visual thing going? Do you do more of that, or is it going to be 50-50, or
I don't know.
Is this a new expression for you?
Yeah, it's absolutely. It's a big project because if you want to see the whole thing, what it is for me, it is you have the pictures, then you have the QR codes which you can scan, and then you can see all those pictures on your phone, and you also can hear it. That's one stage. And then another one would be the live performance, which is a combination of video and lasers, which is really nice. And of course I produce the music for it. And we have 3 different installations. One is that I mentioned before with the oscilloscopes. Another one is an XY plotter. Everybody knows what a plotter is. And you can drive a plotter with a synthesizer. And the third one is it's crazy because I morph all my arts together. I have a snare, and the snare, it's complex. The snare is triggered by the data machine's trigger or solenoids. And it sends the MIDI signals to my computer, and the computer sends sounds to the laser and visualize the rhythmic. I don't know if it makes sense right now. I leave it here. So you get the idea of different stages from the exhibition. So
Well,
complex.
that's very good. So you're still doing tape loops?
So no, not right in the moment. Not enough time. So I'm also a father and a drum teacher. And so this exhibition is my main focus right now.
Okay.
Yeah. Hopefully the people can buy these pictures. It's not just for looking at these pictures. People can really buy them.
And where can they buy them? By following the QR codes only, or do you have a website?
No, I have a website called Hear What You See, which is also the name from the exhibition, Hear What You See. Yeah, and then just follow it, check it out.
So, okay.
Yeah.
And you've used the AE Modular for some of these XY
exactly.
plotter things, for instance.
I worked with the AE Modular system for the XY plotter system. I also made a video, you can find it online anyway. So, yeah.
And which synthesizer did you use to make these videos, these images?
That's different. This one is a pure data patch.
Okay.
It's basically a raster scan. It's an old school technique from the TV era. This one's called.
Well, let's just go to each of these photos, and maybe you can tell us a little bit about it.
This is a Rod Etra raster scan.
Mm-hmm.
What you see here is very interesting. I'm using a special XY monitor for this one, and you can see here the blue lines, and you can see also the yellowish lines. And this is only with a special XY monitors who have a slow phosphor. It has two phases. The first one is the fast electron beam who runs the main pattern, and the yellowish is the slow decay of the phosphor, which is, you have to see it live. It's really nice. I love it totally. And it's really hard to get those kind of old displays. So normally you have a green oscilloscope color. So to get one of those old school displays is really, really, it's the holy grail.
Yeah, amazing.
Yeah,
okay.
Absolutely. I love it totally. So yeah, okay. So next one.
If this video goes viral, you're the next Heinbach of oscilloscopes.
No, that's not what I want to try. But, yes, this is a technique called Synth Shape. It's also a pure data patch you can find online. It's from Derek Holzer, and you can just experiment. It's just a pre-patched synthesizer, and you twist the knobs like on a regular modular system, and you can get these images. And when I take photos of this oscilloscope, I just put a colored filter between the camera and the oscilloscope, and then this is why you have this orange color here. So makes sense?
Yeah, that's pretty good.
So what's also interesting?
So some of these patches are really very intriguing with their shapes and complexity.
Okay, let's go over there.
Yeah.
So this is another example of a modulated Rod Etra patch, and this is created with what's the name? It's a Max patch from Ivan Cliff Maruziak. I don't know if I spoke the name in the right, but people who know, they know. So it's a modulated raster scan with a color filter in between. Same as this one. But here you can see again, this is also the P7 phosphor I talked before, and you can see the first beam and then the afterglow in yellowish green. It's really one of my favorites. So yeah, you all have to scan the pictures for the sound. It's really interesting how they sound.
So when I go to your website, do you have all these pictures and then there's a sound?
Yeah, there are
well.
these pictures, and after there, underneath there is a video, and you can see and hear it. Yeah.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah, it's awesome. I'm also a fan of these. That's the reason why I'm doing this. It's so interesting to see the direct connection between sound and the image. Also, the sound of these pictures is really extreme. It's not a nice sound. But if you are able to use your headphones and listen closely, you see these pictures moving and you can hear a figure in space. You have a 3D sound when you listen closely. That's really interesting. So, and you also have a really high sound and a really low sound combined. Mostly the high sound is the sound you hear the most, but yeah. Beautiful. Sometimes I forgot the process. Sometimes I forget it.
So you don't know the process of this one?
No, it's too long ago, I guess. This is you can see it. The Radetra scan processing has always this kind of raster in it, so that makes the character of this specific art. And then I used a blue filter and a red filter, and also what is pink? It's a pink filter. Yes.
So which one? I really love this one because it looks very organic.
It's the pop star.
Yeah, let's go
and
over there.
That's again, it's a synth shape. That's again a synth shape.
So what's that? A synth chain? What is that?
Synth shape.
Synth shape.
Yeah, I think it's basically a combination of sine waves. Yeah.
And is that a pure data patch as well? Okay.
I used pure data for the most of those pictures. Yeah.
But then the sound goes into one of these old school oscilloscopes or monitors to create those afterglow effects and things like that.
Exactly.
So it's a great combination of pure digital and then really old school analog here. It's fantastic. Yeah. It's very good. Very good.
Love it.
It's beautiful, isn't it?
This one is also a raster scan, but it sounds really deep, so it must be interesting to have it in a video. So most of the pictures sound really high, really shrill, if you will, but this one is particularly really low. Like,
look, these ones look completely different somehow in shape and structure from the other ones.
Okay.
So what's the process here? So we have this picture and this one as well. I think they are very similar.
Yeah.
They almost look like cityscapes.
Interesting. Yeah.
That's what I think when I look at that.
Exactly
like maybe Metropolis or something like that. Like the
exactly.
The movie
that
Metropolis.
was the idea behind when I created the patch.
Okay.
Yeah. It's basically also a raster scan, but I am just moving more into it, and I don't know. I'm just experimenting when I'm doing this.
Yeah. Okay.
But I had the same impression. Sorry. As I experiment with it, it looks like a city. So I thought it would be cool to have some kind of what's the name? Triptychon.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Okay. Yep.
And what you see here is exactly the same thing. You have slower decay of the electron beam, and the white one is the electron beam in real time. Makes it sense?
Yeah. It's very clearly visible now that we understand how this works.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, it's really nice. It's a beautiful color just from the machine.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, well, thank you, Sascha.
Yeah, thank you, Carsten.
I think that was really, really informative, and I love those images. And I'm looking forward to listening to the sounds.
The sounds are not basically sounds where you can produce typical music with it.
You would be surprised. I just got a CD from someone who was actually recording a fence, an electric fence.
Yeah, I mean, the sound that I'm used, they are really harsh. Of course, you can do industrial music or some kind of industrial music with it, but it's always extreme. So we speak about really high pitched, over 20,000 kilohertz, 20 kilohertz, and lower frequencies, so they are not nice for the ear. To make it nice, you have to use filters. If you use filters, you don't get these images.
Of course.
So that's the main problem.
Yeah, true.
So I don't know if it's a problem, but that's the thing you have to keep in mind.
Yeah.
So there's some term you might know is the term called oscilloscope music. And there are a few guys who can do this, so you can get the idea how it sounds if you arrange strange frequencies. But to me, it sounds never nice. It's always really extreme. So that's the thing where you can't compose with. So not a nice ambient track or something.
Yeah, I think the first oscilloscope music that I've seen was the Mushrooms.
Yeah, of course.
The Mushrooms demo.
What's the name of the guy who's doing it?
I can't remember, but that was a few years ago. I think that came out.
I'm sorry for the names. It's really important to have them.
Yeah, I will research that and put it in the. There will be in the title.
Yeah, that would be
we will
nice.
put that in.
Yeah, please put in Derek Holzer, because Derek is really the king of vector synthesis. This is the process who creates all this art. He's really important for me because he showed me all the techniques. I had no idea how this works. As I started with this stuff, it came from, I saw a guy on YouTube who had an oscilloscope, and he could display a clock on it. So, and then I know what an oscilloscope is, but I don't understand at that point how does it work. So, and then I searched the internet. It's 10 years ago, and I found a guy called Derek Holzer, and I wrote to him, and then we chatted a little bit about his subject, and then I get some tricks and tips from him. That's the reason why these pictures are here now. So I have to thank him totally for this adventure.
All right.
Yeah, cool.
Okay.
Any questions?
I think I have enough. But yeah, I put in your website and contact details and Facebook page and all of that. Awesome. And if people have questions, they can just contact you.
Yeah, that's good. That's good.
Okay. Well, thanks again, Sascha. That was really cool.
Coming along from Australia.
Okay.